Welcome to the Green Hat Local SEO Podcast, where Kyle Sabotage delivers hard-hitting, actionable tips and strategies to help business owners dominate their local market and crush the competition. Kyle's no-holds-barred approach cuts through the noise of traditional SEO, focusing on battle-tested tactics that deliver real results. He's here to arm you with the tools you need to skyrocket your rankings, generate more leads, and grow your business online. If you're tired of hearing the same old SEO nonsense and want to learn the truth, this is the podcast for you. Get ready to put on your green hats and learn SEO secrets the other guys can't handle. Now, here's your host, Kyle Sabotage.
Hi, this is Kyle Sabotage from the Green Hat Local SEO Podcast, and in this episode, we're talking about SEO sabotage. That's right, we are talking about how to sabotage your competitors' SEO efforts, because you know what? All is fair in love, war, and SEO. So if you do not want to be a part of this, if you are too afraid to dip your toes into gray hat, dark gray hat SEO, then turn back now, because I am pulling no punches. So what is gray hat SEO? So green hat SEO is SEO to where we don't do what all the white hats tell you to do. We say, fuck Google, fuck their guidelines. We're going to do what ranks us and banks us. So with gray hat SEO, dark gray hat, maybe even you can consider this black hat, what we're doing is we are going to sabotage our competitors' ranks and attempts at building out a brand. And, white hats are going to tell you not to do this, focus on just ranking your own site and shit like that. But you know what? SEO is a zero-sum game. For every rank that you get, your competitors do not get that. So you need to go on the offense as well as on the defense, which is, playing by Google rules. So what are we going to do? How does this SEO sabotage work? So, for a lot of SEO, all you're going to hear about is, you need to build links and get citations and bullshit like that. And if you have incorrect information out there, Google's not going to trust it. Google's not going to rank you in Google Maps and stuff. Well, if that's the case, then putting out false information out there is going to sabotage your competitors' rankings. Now, old-timey black hat efforts like shooting thousands of porn or Viagra links to a competitor's site to get those to tank really does not work anymore. That hasn't worked in probably 5 or 6 years. Black hat SEO, deep dark black hat SEO has changed dramatically since then. And these secrets I'm not going to release publicly on a podcast, but there are some more gray hat things that you can do to, if not push your competitors down, then be seen for your competitors' searches. So what can you do? Well, one, everybody knows about how on GBPs, on Google Business Profiles, you can leave reviews. And while you can buy reviews on your own GBP, you can also buy reviews on competitors' GBPs. So what you can do is you can buy fake reviews and put them on competitors' GBPs. This is getting a lot harder. It's a lot more expensive now. It's not just, you pay 50 cents per review, get those on a GBP, and they're published bada bing, bada boom. Now they actually have to look real, and you have to get them from actual, if you're in the US, US IP addresses from actual warmed up Gmails, right? Even then, your competitor could flag a review, so you have to make it look real sneaky, right? So you could just leave a 1-star review and say everything was shit, all this and that, but that is going to raise a red flag for your competition, especially if they're checking their emails and they get those reviews sent directly to their email. So what do? Right? Well, one thing that we do know is that Google does look at the content of these reviews. Right? They look at what people are talking about and, what keywords maybe are mentioned in there, but they're also looking at sentiment. So instead of leaving a 1-star review and talking about how everything was shit, leave a 4-star review and talk about how everything was shit, or even better, leave a 5-star review, have the first couple sentences be something neutral or maybe even slightly positive. That way the the competitor only sees that preview of the review in their email, and they'll probably just ignore it because, to be honest, most people do not respond to every single review. If you notice your client is or your competitor is not responding to the reviews, then yeah, leave a neutral sounding first couple of sentences and then just completely bash them in the second half of the review. Make sure the second part of the review, if you have maybe two neutral or slightly positive sentences, make sure you have another paragraph about how terrible they are, right? Google is going to read that sentiment, right? So make sure you're doing that. If you do that enough, some of those reviews are going to be showing up in the highlighted reviews, right? Or even better, because owners cannot remove frequently asked questions, leave a frequently asked question, or have several people do it, asking your competitor, why your business, say your business is XYZ Plumbing, leave a question on ABC Plumbing asking why XYZ Plumbing is so much better, right? People are going to see those, right? So have you and a couple buddies start leaving those on your competition, asking why your XYZ Plumbing brand is so much better than ABC Plumbing. And again, most business owners are not going to respond to these frequently asked questions. And even then, they're not going to be able to remove them. I don't know anybody else who's talking about this right now, but this is a legitimate way to do this. Another way that you can do SEO sabotage as well is ranking for your competitors' brand names. So one thing that I have hammered for a couple years now, I've talked about on different episodes of this podcast, is how important branding is. So what you can do is you can actually rank for your competitors' brands. You can rank parasite pages. You can rank pretty much anything, and then direct people to your own business. So for example, let's say that ABC Plumbing, you want to start ranking for their brand. Well, you can create a LinkedIn post called ABC Plumbing Alternative XYZ Plumber, right? Now, these posts, because they say alternative, are going to rank for the brand name because this is new information that Google has not seen. And you can do this on Reddit as well. You can create your own subreddit. You can control who posts there and start posting things like ABC Plumber Alternative is XYZ Plumbing. And these things are going to rank. And if you do this well enough, you can take over 4 to 5 spots on the first page for your competitor's brand name. That way, whenever somebody searches for it, they're going to see that you, XYZ Plumbing, are the best alternative to ABC Plumbing, right? And as you're doing that, what you can do too is you can create different websites called like abcplumbing.net, which can look completely neutral, right? So they could be something to where nothing in the body copy, on the client-facing content is negative, but in the schema, you can put all of your information in there as the best alternative to ABC Plumbing. Because you know what? Nobody is going to be able to, or is going to think to look in the source code for these other websites, especially if these other websites are not saying anything negative, on the body copy, because most people aren't smart enough to look in the source codes for anything that could be possibly negative, right? Same thing with what you can do too is Reddit is a really big is one of the really big data aggregators and review aggregators that Google is looking at. You can buy Reddit accounts for less than $100, and like I said, you can start your own subreddits and post on there about how ABC Plumbing scam or something like that, right? You can do that for all of your competitors. And the worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to, or Reddit will shut down the sub and maybe shut down your Reddit account, in which case you just buy another Reddit account and you do the same thing over again. You talk about how XYZ Plumber is the best alternative to ABC Plumbing, right? And then what's going to happen is Google is going to start recognizing this. You do it enough and your brand, XYZ Plumbing, will start showing up for ABC Plumbing searches, right? So what you're really doing is you're hijacking their brand here to insert your own brand's information, and you're muddying up the waters for your competitors. Because if your competitor can't even control their own brand, if somebody else is taking over their brand name and their brand searches, then in Google's eyes, they are not a trustworthy company, right? Because if they can't even control their own brand, if they're not putting that kind of effort in there, Google is not going to rank them on page one organically or in Google Maps, right? Because branding is such a huge part of local SEO now. This really is the way to sabotage your competitors' SEO. And again, like I said, it's a zero-sum game. So you are actively taking rankings away from them by destroying their brand. Other things you can do too, like I said, if you start a website called abcplumbing.net instead of abcplumbing.com, you can buy an IFTTT ring from legit.com. You can look at one of those sellers on there, and you can hijack their social media. So you can actually get branded social media and start posting as them as well. And again, things like Instagram, Pinterest, this is all things that Google looks at when trying to understand a brand. So if you are claiming that and putting XYZ Plumbing as the best alternative to ABC Plumbing, you do that enough, you are going to be showing up for searches on Google. You're going to be showing up for searches on social media, showing up for searches on ChatGPT and Perplexity and things like that, because you're just reinforcing over and over and over again that you are the better alternative. And if you are showing up, then you are taking clicks and you are taking eyeballs and impressions away from your competitors. And that really is a way to sabotage SEO in the 21st century, in 2025 and beyond. It's one of the more devious ways of getting your brand exposed to more people and getting more impressions by ranking, like I said, for your competitors' brand searches. So that's it for this episode for SEO Sabotage. Again, my name is Kyle Sabotage from Green Hat Local SEO. If you want free until you rank SEO, if you want to make sure that you are being seen in Google Maps and you are getting the calls and leads and your competitors aren't, then contact us at GHLS.io. Again, my name is Kyle Sabotage. I will talk to you later.